audit parlance, there is a thing called materiality, something which is immaterial for a company X, it may be material for a company Y. So we can't generalize materiality. But my consideration is, how do you determine the materiality for a bank? Now, when I'm using a word bank, I'm not restricting myself to any country, because my definition of the bank means a bank who is full-fledged bank, and more importantly holding a big derivative book. So I'm not linking this to a specific bank, I'm linking this to a concept. That's more important. In a bank, we have income coming from net interest income, NII, which is predominantly our treasury income. Apart from that, depends upon country to country, banks have some other sources also. But my question is, when I do audit of a bank, say X, then how would I determine the materiality? Because when I'm doing the audit of a bank, then I understand that banks holding off balance sheet exposure, banks holding on balance sheet exposure, banks holding interbank exposure, which includes short-term interbank exposure, long-term interbank exposure, banks holding broker-dealer networks, banks holding long-term credit facility positions which they have taken from some other banks in the form of binding or non-binding agreement. Bank include their predominant customer service. Basically, I titled this as a normal deposit kind of business. So there are multiple business bank is up to, depend upon country to country, bank to bank. Hence what I said, we can't generalize that. But my question is, when I do audit of a bank, then how would I decide the materiality for that bank? Because something which may be material for X may not be material for some other institution. Now that question, when I read the annual reports, that question always I think that how am I going to determine the materiality for the so and so bank?